Alright, did I fix it this time? Okay, I fixed it. Malware bytes. My premium trial has expired. Upgrade now to enable real-time protection against malware, bad websites, and other threats. Thank you, Malware Bytes. It's like they knew I was streaming. How creepy. This is the 404 guy, 7he404guy. We're back with some Kerbal Space Program before we get into this episode.
Warning. This program contains coarse humor and a sense of language that some people might not share. Viewer discretion is advised.
Of course, it's not as much relevant right now. Let's take a look at this. So, before the episode, I spent a little bit of time preparing this little shindig. So what we got here, this does not have any control beyond these. And this is just going to prove the point of this episode. The physics in Kerbal Space Program are not perfect. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. YouTube, you're killing me. You're killing me slowly, YouTube. Literally. Oh, God. Look what you've done. Stop it, will ya? Okay, thank you, YouTube, for trying to friggin' play live video while I'm streaming. That's very rude. I just want to monitor the chat. Is that such a bad thing? So here we've got this thing. Theoretically, these should do absolutely nothing. They should be completely aerodynamically blocked because we got nothing. They can't see the oncoming air. So this should not have any control whatsoever. It should just go straight up. Sort of. In the absence of turbulence. I don't know if they do turbulence modeling, but we'll see. The whole point of this is we're going to prove that the effects of aerodynamics do not exist. See, there's not even an SAS. Aerodynamics doesn't exist in Kerbal Space. Let's take a look. Right? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. I can control it. I turned the gimbal off on this thing. So the fact that I can control this goes to prove. Like, look at how smooth that control is. That's incredible. Okay, I take it off. Alright, it smooths out. And then, oh, I want to control it this way. Oh, I'm turning it. It's got aerodynamic controls. It's not stable, mind you, but it doesn't have to be. Like, see, the gimbal on this thing is completely shut off. So that's the whole point of this episode, is showing that these aerodynamics, we can do some pretty fun stuff with that. Let's revert that flight. One of the fun things we're going to do is we're going to leave this building. I'm going to build an icon of the 1940s. Back in the day when computational aerodynamics didn't exist, back in the day when we had fewer models for aerodynamic calculations. Liquid fuel? I think not. We're going to need rocket fuel for this sucker. That on there. Give us, I don't know, what's the fancy thing? There's the fancy thing. The fancy engine mount. Let's put that on there. Let's mount the fancy engines. I tell you what. Hey, don't mount to the side there. There we go. That's exactly what I was thinking. Alright, we'll do a couple here. This is overkill. I just really want to have a couple of really strong engines on there. Alright. Let's get down to the meat of the episode. We're building a biplane. That's gonna be awesome. So let's get these wings lit. You call that a wing? My friend, you call that a wing? You call that a wing? That's not a wing. That's a wing right there. Look at that. All right, one. That's not where we want it. One there. All right. So far, looking pretty normal. One there. In reality, these would have interference. So, in reality, you would have not double the lift as a result of this configuration. You would have a little bit less than double the lift. I think like 40% extra lift, and yet you're doubling the structure. It's just not, aside from it kind of looking weird, it just wouldn't work out that well, would it? We're going to give it a shot, because the physics in Kerbal Space Program, I think, will allow just this sort of thing to work. Those are way too big. Get some medium landing gear on here, maybe? Thank you. Alright, let's put that there. Where's our CG? That doesn't look right. Of course it doesn't. We need these to be way further back. That's a bit better. We need some controls on here, by the way. What do you think? A fat control surface. Just what I always wanted. We're going to take this to the next level if it works. But first, I want to test one more thing. Let's get rid of these top ones. This is going to be called the biplane. Of course I'm using rocket engines for an airplane. Why wouldn't I? You get better thrust with rockets. I mean, as long as it gets thrust, right? That's the fact that I'm using 5 of the most thrust-worthy engines on the game. Oh wow, we got a full crew. All right, so I just want to check the takeoff speed of this thing. Holy crap! Okay, this will take off at 0. Holy crap! All right, dude, time to land it. Oh crap, we lost a wing. We lost a wing. Okay, let's save their lives at the last second. So, okay, takeoff speed of that's good for vertical takeoff if we wanted to. I guess that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this. I wanted to show that you're getting double the lift based on the takeoff speed. Because if you're getting truly double the lift, you know, not accounting for weight, your takeoff speed would be something like, oops, wrong one. Your takeoff speed would be something like 70% of what it was without the double wings. Let's just get some structure in here to keep these from falling apart. The traditional X shape seems like a wise choice here. Look at this. This looks like a classic biplane, except that it's got rocket engines. Alright. So if I wanted to, I could punt this thing into the atmosphere, and it would be, it could easily, probably obtain orbit even. But the point here is to show that we can make a biplane with double the lift. I should put weaker engines on there just so I can more appropriately test this, because if it can vertically take off, like look at that. What's the point of this test? I guess this proves that those Kerbals will do anything. All right, come on, pull some heavy G's. 14, 15. Oh well, let's. I'm gonna put some weaker engines on there. I think that's. I think weaker engines is necessary to appropriately test the Kerbal Space Program physics engine. Let's. We're still gonna use rocket engines. This time ones that don't gimbal though. That ought to work. Let's see what sort of speeds we can take off on this thing. Wait a minute, doesn't it have... I forget, does this have reaction wheels in the cockpit? I should have turned those off. Truthfully. Yeah, it's got reaction wheels. I don't know how useful those are, though. Let's see. Alright, perfect. This is what we want. A nice slow takeoff. We can gauge the takeoff speed. Once we know the takeoff speed... if these guys can keep it lined up with the runway. Alright, 40 meters per second. Let's see if we can take off before 100. That front wheel ain't lifting. Would you guys keep center with the runway, please? I gotta... Okay, yeah, that front wheel ain't moving. This might not be a powerful enough engine. I might need 10 of them. Oh, crap. Oh, is it gonna... No, it's not getting positive lift. It's gonna graciously splash down in the ocean. I gotta admit, that was actually pretty gracious. Let's, I don't know. We just need more thrust, but only a little. Wait, swivel. Wait, I got the wrong engine on there. No wonder. I wanted this one. Put 2 of them on there just for fun. Alright, alright, alright. Once we do the biplane, I want to go full Yosemite Sam on this thing and put like 20 wings on it. And then we'll see how she flies. Whether it's even stable, I wonder. Alright, that's a little bit more umph. Come on, guys, keep it lined up for me. I want to see when that nose wheel takes off. When are we going to rotate? At 100. Or at 120. Oh, did we get... No, that's not rotating. That's... Oh, we are off. We're off. We're off. Okay, so 140. 140. It barely made it to the end of the runway, but 140 it took off. That gives us a good baseline. This is remarkably stable. Like, look at this thing. This is like butter. That is just remarkably stable. Okay, so that's interesting. You double up the wings. Your design is more stable overall. Not that I would ever design a space plane like this. Look at these guys. They're just having the time of their lives. Alright, let's do commercial here. That's a commercial bank right there. Maintain that more than 45 degrees. Okay, here we go. That is remarkably stable. Okay. Let's rip one of the wings off and see how stable it is. So remember that number, 140 rotate. Let's write it down here. 140 rotate. I didn't write it down, I just typed it on my phone. So if they rotate before 140 or at 140, then we'll know that we didn't do jack diddly. But if they don't rotate by the end of the runway, then we know that those wings did something. Alright, 122, 130, 140 rotate. Let's go. Oh my god, it almost... Oh, it didn't do it! It's not off the ground! It's not even getting positive climb rate. Okay. So yeah, when are we going to get positive climb rate? It doesn't look like we're going to make it. Alright. So that went as high as 175. How much were we expecting? So 140 times the square root of 2. So around 197 is where it would have rotated. Alright, that's awesome. Oh crap, I saved it. That is awesome. So that means that the extra wings generated as much as 2 times the lift. So now that we know that this is a thing, we can exploit it. We're gonna go full Yosemite Sam on this in a moment. Let's, when I say full Yosemite Sam, I mean there's an episode of Bugs Bunny and Tweety where Yosemite Sam is a pilot in the German army, and he ends up with an airplane with, like, I think there's like 10 or 15 wings just stacked on top of each other. Like that would be like, you couldn't fly that thing with a standard propeller engine. You need like 50 engines on that thing just to move it, push it through the air. That's so much drag that it would create just from the profile. Alright, so triple the wings. Triple the wings, that's triple the lift. What are we looking at? 190 over the square root of 3 this time? So rotate about like 109? Is my math correct on that? Well, we don't need to actually, we'll prove it right now. 109 rotate. Let's see, it should rotate in a couple of seconds here. Alright, 100, 109, rotate. No, it's not the square root of 3. Wait a minute. Is it going to go all the way to 140? Wow. All the way to 140 before it actually rotated. Now that could be because of the whole control surface issue. Perhaps there's a limit. If I stack these close enough, then maybe, just maybe, it realizes that it can't actually, it's not physically possible to get lift off of that configuration. Let's try another configuration here. Let's do a schlibbity schlib. Let's go like, I don't know, 20? No, we can't do 20. There. We'll literally laminate these wings together. Like, theoretically, you shouldn't be able to punch this thing through the air. In its current form, this should not actually be able to move forward at any significant rate of speed. The amount of drag this is going to produce, oh my god. Look at that. Yeah, the back fins generate lift. I don't know how much they generate. I mean, where's my CG and where's my CL? That'll tell us. Yeah, they're pretty close. I mean, it's not going to be exactly 2 times, but we would have expected it. We wouldn't have expected it to be as much as 140. It should have been less than 140. But yeah, maybe 110 was a bit unrealistic, but it should have been less than 140 at the very least. This, if there's no aerodynamic account for wing interference, this is going to be well before 100. Because effectively we've just like... How many wings is that again? I think we might have quadrupled our lifting surface. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've sextupled our lifting surface over what we would have had with a single wing. I think controllability is the issue here, because our CG is forward from our center of lift, and so these little wings, they've got to generate enough of a moment with that center of lift trying to push us nose down. I think that's going to be causing some issues here. 140 rotate, yeah, see, it's okay, there we go, we're off the ground. Positive climb. Everything's looking good. It's... Look at this thing. So I guess the best way to test this, actually, now that I think about it, would be to just let it slow down and see when we get to the speed where it's... see where it gets to the point where it'll no longer maintain lift. Let's get these feet in. So we're just going to slow it down. And I'm interested to see. This should be able to sustain a positive climb rate down to, I'd estimate, probably in the 60s. As we can see, it's already doing better than with a single wing. We can estimate that it's doing better than a single wing. It's down at 100 meters per second. Oh, is that going to go? No, it's still going. Still going. So we're just going to bring it up to a nice easy stall here. 80 meters per second. How slow can it go? Somehow maintaining lift. 60 meters per second. What's the stall angle on these wings, I wonder? 60. 60, and we are maintaining. We are just stalling at like 40, 47. So 50 meters per second approximately. So the hex plane can actually sustain its altitude at 60 meters per second. Hold on, let's bring that back up for us. Look at that, 60, it'll do it at 50. Right, let's just bring that up. And I'm just going to sit this at 50. Alright, there we go. 50 meters per second, and climb rate is just about zeroing out. A little less than 0 even. Look at that. 50 meters per second. That's awesome. Okay, so we've basically confirmed here that Kerbal Space Program doesn't have the physics to calculate wing interference. There is no chance that that would fly. This would just like generate so much drag. Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna create a new one here. We're gonna call it Yosemite Sam. In honor of Mel Blanc's character, who in that one episode was a World War II pilot with like 20 wings. Let's go with these wings. These are closer to what the oh man, why are they rotated? Oh yeah, that's the direction I want them to be in. There we go. Right? Alright, let's do like 10 of those, if we can. Oh, come on, stop rotating them, man. We're gonna laminate like 10 of these. We're gonna make it a decaplane. Oop. A decaplane. It's not quite like the design that was on Bugs Bunny and Tweety, but it's pretty close. Just the wings are spaced a little bit closer together. Oh my god. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 wings. So now we've got the same wings as the decaplane. What are these? These are 7.8. These are 5. So this is going to be... I bet this will take off at like 10 meters per second. We're building like the ultimate glider here. Although we've got to factor in the weight. That's actually a good point. We need to factor in the fact that each of these weighs about a ton. Each of these weighs half a ton. So yeah, 10 meters per second would be a little bit too optimistic, I think. We'll see. We'll see how she does. I haven't done the calculations on it. But I estimate a very low takeoff speed. How many do you think we can get? I haven't been keeping track of this. I hope someone's keeping track. Counting all of these wings that I'm adding here. Oh man. Okay, there's our upper limit. My buddy who's working on aerodynamic shape optimization would be having conniptions if he saw this. Okay, how many wings we got? Let's count the wings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 wings. This weighs 56 tons. Let's give it a cockpit. Cockpit. We need something for it to attach to. Hold on. Almost. We only need one. Oh, man. Okay. Ah, jeez. What's it doing? That's not where I wanted it. Oh. This is interesting. Can I put it up here? No, I can't. I don't know how I'm going to attach this, actually. They got to have a cockpit. I can put the cockpit there and try and make it push against the profile of the wings. I don't know. This is attaching wrong. Ah, that's what I need. Hold on. There's a structure for this. Where is it? There it is. Radial attachment. Because the cockpit and the rest of the fuselage is going to count as a radial attachment. Based on the orientation of this main body. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on. That's too low. Where's our CG? We want this to be closely lined up with it. Oh, great. I can't zoom in or out. CG, where art thee? There we are. Alright. Something like that, I guess. Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks beautiful. I am so happy with this so far. Alrighty, alrighty. That's too long. There we go. Oh, come on, attach, will ya? There we go. Alright. As far as aircraft configurations go, I think this is a real winner we got here. You know, they called Howard Hughes crazy, and yet he designed some things. Let's see, where would this be best put? There we go. I've got a couple of these on here because I feel like it's going to need, to fight the inertia of these wings, this is going to need a lot of control surface to it. That's going to be a lot of inertia to try and turn this thing. We're going to be fighting against it the whole way. Alright, here we go. Those wings are not going to want to move. Put a couple of these. Oh, wow. That is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright. Rear control surfaces. Alright, alright, alright. Hey, I can put these here. Oh, that looks cool. Alright. This is looking good right here. I tell you, all we need now is a landing gear. A small one at the front. Small one at the front. Alright. And big landing gear at the back. Big as it gets. Don't want this thing scraping on the ground. This thing scrapes on the ground, we gotta pay for it. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, that's mwah. That is lovely. This vessel has no remote control. There is a manned module. This has I don't want to say manned. That's here. You guys go on there. There. Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay, bets in the chat. What's going to be the takeoff velocity? I'm thinking this thing's going to take off at like 20 meters per second. Look at that. Oh, it's just like that. The inspiration for this comes from Bugs Bunny and Tweety, in which we found Yosemite Sam flying a very similar plane. You think in 7he? Ooh. Ah! Oh, you were wrong, my friend. It took off not at all. It just dug into the ground. Okay. What was that? Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, it's pushing down. You see how the rear landing gear are higher than the front? It's producing so much lift in the downwards direction. It's producing such a forward moment that it actually blew up the runway. Oh no, I clicked off the screen. Where am I clicking? Alright, I think that's the issue. Okay. I think we've tracked it down. So we need to lift the front up just a wee bit here. Whoops. Oh no. On there. Just the landing gear. Alright, so we just need to lift the front up a little bit. I think that's probably... I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably the issue. That is exactly the same landing gear that I put on. So we need large. That's the next step up. Alright. I think this thing needs more landing gear. Or it needs the heavy landing gear. The heavier the better, because this is heavy. This is like a 60-ton airplane. Like, this thing's at least 60 tons. So when it was pushing into the ground, it was probably generating something close to like... Because the runway has a weight limit on it. So this had to have been producing something like 140 kilotons of apparent weight. What do we think? I'm going to say it's probably going to lift off right about now. There it goes! 30 meters per second. 35. Excellent guess, my friend. We just need to make it stable. It's producing so much lift forward of the center of gravity that it's completely uncontrollable. But it worked. It got off the ground. Oh, I love it. Okay, so there's our CG. We got to move that forward. Let's adjust it like that. Damn, that didn't work. We need a lot of heavy stuff on the front. What can we throw up there? Heavy stuff, heavy stuff. Fuel. Monoprop? Is monoprop heavy? It's not heavy enough. Okay, here we go. Let's get some fuel. Oh my god, it won't let me zoom out. Why won't it let me zoom out? Okay, there we go. Let's just stack a couple of these up on the front. We also need to see our center of lift. There we go. Okay. So our center of lift... Huh. Could add a fuel tank right there, couldn't I? Our center of lift is that close to our center of gravity. We actually need these to be directly on top of one another for this design. For this to even work. Like, they gotta be like practically... Well, not practically. They need to be exactly on top of each other. So now our CG is too far forward. So we gotta dial it back just a little bit. Okay, that's about as perfect as we're gonna get. Why won't it auto-load? Come on, you guys, get in there. Alright, that should be theoretically the most controllable in this state because the wings are producing such an excessive amount of lift. So last time it took off roughly 35, 30-ish meters per second. This time should be similar. I might add more wings. Alright, here it goes. It's off at like 35 to 40. Look at how stable that is. Oh my god. It's because of the inertia. The inertia of the wings has made this an extremely stable aircraft. Like, look at that. I'm full down, full up. Look at this thing. It glides so smoothly. Oh, that's beautiful. This is like such a stable aircraft because it has such a phenomenal amount of weight on those wings. Now that center of gravity is going to be moving because we're burning up the fuel. So as that center of gravity moves, this is going to become progressively uncontrollable. So we'll have to be prepared for that. But I mean, for now, this is beautiful. This is just beautiful. Whoa! Okay. Oh, hey, maintain. Whoa, whoa. Okay, here's what I'm talking. Oh my god. They all lost consciousness instantaneously. Methinks something went wrong. Okay, they're awake again. They're not going to be happy once they realize they're in a death spin. Hold on. We're close to the stall speed. We should be able to recover. Come on. Get that nose down there. Okay, nose down, nose down. Okay, we got more than enough lift. Okay, yeah, we've lost our center of gravity. But for the time that worked, oh my god, that was beautiful. This makes me wonder, how much further could I go with this? So oops. We take the CG, we take the center of lift. Whoops, that's center of thrust. Center of lift. So I'm gonna bump this back up because I didn't really do that the smart way. I should be adding fuel to this guy. That'll work. I think that'll hold. The I think the envelope for where this is able to operate correctly is too thin. You know what they say? When the envelope is too thin, push it further. Oh darn, these landing gear aren't long enough. We'll fix that. We'll fix that before we take off. How do I reroute? That's a good idea. Reroute tool. Okay, this... No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, crap. Whoops. Hold on, how do I do that? Is there a copy command? I don't know. It's not working for me. I don't know how to do that reroute thing. Let's hey, let's put one of these on. No. We're gonna just damn it, now you got me curious. How do I reroute? If I reroute and then copy the wing structure. Is there a copy command? How do I copy? Uh-oh. Oh no. No! Come back! Hold on, I'll fix this. There we go. Oh. I rerouted already. What's the copy command then? If such a command exists. Alt-click. Oops. Oh, it's not rerouted anymore, that's why. Hold on. Reroute this guy. Oops. This guy. Here we go. Alright, alt-click. Hey! Hey, I like it! Look at this thing, it's beautiful! It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh my god. Oh, but we're breaking the parts limit. Oh. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. We're breaking the parts limit, so it's not going to let us keep going. There we go. Also the weight limit. There we go. We got money, we can do it. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh, look at it. It's gonna be difficult to fight that center of gravity. There's our center of gravity, there's our aerodynamic overlay. Even with the two being that close, this thing is just gonna smash itself into space. Like, it's just gonna be completely uncontrollable. So let's what was I looking for? Radial attachment. This is the most beautiful plane I've ever built in Kerbal Space Program. Oh, it is such a beautiful thing. Okay, there we go. And landing gear. I think this landing gear will actually hold that. Only one way to find out, I guess. It's got a beard! It's the bearded spacecraft. Look at that, it's got a goatee. I love it. Okay, we are too far forward with the weight. Let's bring that up. And bring it in a little bit further. Ideally, these two would be on top of each other, but we can't really force that. A nose cone. That would help reduce the drag. That would definitely help with the drag. I don't think this has any issues with drag, though. I mean, the lift to drag ratio on these wings is insane, especially considering that they're all laminated together. That is the most beautiful design I've ever seen. Oh my god. I mean, these landing gear aren't doing anything, but they're there. Alright. Predictions. What's the takeoff speed? I'm going to guess like 10 meters per second. Here we go. Nope, not 10. 30? Oh, wow. It took to like 40. Wow. Look at that. Look at how stable this thing. This thing's like a glider. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Don't crash. Okay. Look at this thing. Okay, let's find the stall speed. That's what we're interested in. We're not interested in takeoff speed. We're interested in the stall speed. So we're going to let this glide until it's no longer producing positive lift. Okay, 30. I have to push the nose down, actually. Oh, darn. We've lost it. Okay, but it was producing positive lift as low as 9. Now it's in reverse. Let's try and flip it around, I guess. Oh, no. Not like that. No, 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 no. Go, 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 go. Up, up, up. Oh, crap. I think I just broke the game. I very well may have just broken the game. It's actually not letting me click on anything. Come on. Spaceplane hangar. Launch. Hangar. Oh, there it goes. All right. All right. We need a nose cone. That's a good call. Nose cone, nose cone. Here we go. That'll work. Thoughts on that last flight? Hold on. Let's get our center of thrust, center of mass, everything there. The center of gravity is too low. So when it was pitched up, this lift was still acting here, but that center of gravity is acting here. So as it rotates, that lift is still going up. It was too difficult to counteract. So what we need to do... How are these? I can just lower the weight of liquid in this lower canister, can't I? There we go. We want these to be as close to being on top of each other as possible. I'd say that's pretty good. The envelope on this aircraft is insanely thin. There is such a thin region where it is going to remain controllable. I almost wish like we had a little pulley that would just like carry a weight from the front to the back, and that would allow us to just adjust our center of gravity. Unfortunately, we don't have any such thing. We could move the fuel around, but I think as it is, it tries to balance the fuel to keep everything where you left it. All right, Yosemite Sam, here we go. 16 meters per second. Are we able to get lift off of that? No, sir. 20. No, sir. 30. I think we're going to need to be off the ground to appropriately test this. Let's bring that landing gear in. No! No, it's not moving. It's not. Ah! Go! I think I broke it. We don't have enough control authority to push the nose down. Alright, let's keep this up. Come on, come on. No! No! We're losing it again. Okay, so we lost it now. Hold on, I can fix this. Shut off the lower engines. There we go. That'll help, I think. Oh boy. The fact that it's able to produce enough power to generate this spin I mean, the amount of force on these wings is excessive. That's got to be huge. Oh, crap. It's going to... Oh, no. It's going to take it out. Slowly. Come on. Don't hit the building, please. Holy smokes, the game cannot comprehend how many parts just flew around. Oh, I think the engines are still going. Nope, they stopped. Okay, let's go back to the space plane hangar. That is 108 wings. I think the issue that we're having now can be very easily fixed. Like, just with a little bit of engineering. A little bit of engineering know-how. We can easily fix the issues that are being experienced by this plane. Whoopsie. I call this Bugs Bunny and Tweety engineering. There we go. Now we got to keep track of the number of tail fins. How much surface area is on these? These are like, wow. So the relative wing area is 3.49. So the total surface area for the lifting surfaces on this plane are well into the thousands by now. There we go. All right, how's that look? How's that look? That looks beautiful, actually. I'm very impressed. Center of lift. All right, our center of lift moved too far forward now, so we got to counteract that with fuel. Crap, those are already empty. Those are empty. How am I going to do this? No, we need this further forward. Okay, that's a problem, I think. Feels like it's a problem. Let's move that down. At least get these on the same level. Alright, that's pretty close. Now we can just, I guess, lift up the back a little. Oh, here we go. I didn't know we could do this. Hey, that'll work perfect. And they thought biplanes were dead, right? Just because they're aerodynamically inefficient. Well, once you take away the aerodynamic inefficiencies associated with biplanes, they become viable again. 100%. Right. Alright, this should bring it all up. Almost. That brings it into check. Okay, so that's outside our envelope. We can't have the center of lift that far away from the center of gravity. Okay, that's pretty close. That's really close. Alright, let's give it a shot. Yeah, like I was saying, the relative area on this has to be into the thousands. So it'll be very controllable, I think. I think the controllability aspect is going to be very good because of the we got some control surfaces on there. That should counteract the inertia from the wings. Holy crap! I should maybe be putting some structural. I think they call it tape. Some structural tape in between these. Alright, here we go. Lift. Lift it at 30. Alright, that's controllable. That's really controllable. Look at this. Alright, let's cut the engines. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to look for the stall speed now. Nose down just a little bit. 41 meters per second. 38. Still producing lift at 34. 32. Still producing lift at 26. Oh. Yeah, we can still produce lift at 20. Alright, so 20 is about the limit there. Hold on, let's bring that up. 16, 17. Bring it back down. So 20, there we go. We're just barely able to maintain at 20. 18.8. So actually we're going up a little. Of course you can post this to Reddit. If you want to post it to other social media as well, you can. Let's get a good action shot of this. All right, this would be the perfect screenshot right here. Let's bring the landing gear in so we don't have that hanging down. Oh wow, this is beautiful. This is a glider right here. Oh, okay, we're losing our lateral control. You never see that on aircraft. You never see aircraft that are unstable in yaw, and yet we've created one. I think that means we need more control surfaces. What do you think? We just might. I don't know what the limit of my game is going to be. Okay, now, yeah, so when it stalls, it just drops like a stone. I broke it again. Oh wow, nothing exploded. We've built the perfect aircraft. It cannot explode. That's awesome. All right, we need to tape it together, I think. Let's get some structural mem. This monstrosity costs $500,000. Holy crap. I feel like that one dude on The Simpsons, he's like, this heap of a monstrosity costs $500,000. All right, there we go. That should keep those from bouncing around too much. Yeah, it literally, the stall profile on this is, it stalls and then it just drops like a stone. There is no recovery procedure. So we noticed that it was unstable in the, in yaw. So obviously it needs more control. Come on, you. Controllability is key. I'm just going to keep adding stuff until it won't let me. Let's see how far we can push this analogy. It now costs $515. United States government. This is your new bomber. It can carry as much weight as is needed. 100%. Center of thrust, center of lift. Okay, so we're outside the manifold once again. But we can push that back. Oh, we can. Wait a minute. We gotta be able to push that manifold forward. Oh no. Our CG is too far back. We need more lift. Delta wing. No, we'll do these delta wings. These delta wings. Okay, let's do this the smart way. Use the big ones. Okay, our center of lift, or our center of gravity is too high. Whoopsie. So we got to bring that center of gravity down. Oh, not delta wing. Okay. Come on, center of gravity. That center of gravity does not want to move on us. We can put some... We're putting delta wings onto the control surfaces at the back. I think that'll work. 100%. There we go. Oh, perfect. That's almost perfect. We just need that lift a little higher now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We could do this! Why didn't I think of that? Oh, I should have done the 54 wings that way. What's our part count? 264. There's not a limit, is there? I guess the limit is whatever your computer can handle. I'm curious to know what my computer can handle. This is the ultimate stress test. This is gonna be one of those benchmarks that people share. Can your computer run the 1,000-part multi-wing monstrosity? Let's see. I don't know if these outer wings are gonna work, but if they do, I'm gonna have to go back and modify the root wings. All right. We now have a biplane that would make Yosemite Sam proud. Okay, yeah, the outer wings cause too much flex, so I'm not going to likely do more of those. All right. On a wing and a prayer. All right, we're taking off at 28 meters per second. Look at this thing, it's beautiful. Okay, we're at 25 meters per second. That should be our cruising speed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've just reached cruising speed of 24 meters per second. Planning our flight around Kerbal. We expect to make it around the world in about 16 hours. Or perhaps that's 16 days, depending on my calculations. I may have done that wrong. Alright. Look at this. 24 meters. Imagine flying around the world in an aircraft that looks like this, traveling at 25 meters per second. And I mean, Kerbal Space Program doesn't have ground effect. So the fact that we're close to the ground really means nothing. This lift would be the same if there was no ground there, because Kerbal Space Program doesn't account for ground effect. So 1.5 times the wings. Or the wingspan. Look at this thing. Oh, that's a dope logo. Just the shadow of this thing. Like you could turn that into the next SpaceX. That logo. Imagining this aircraft flying is impossible. I mean, imagining this thing being able to move forward at any appreciable speed. Let's see how fast we can get it. The amount of drag on this thing at 70 meters per second, this thing would be falling apart. We are now pushing the envelope. How fast can we make this thing go? We got plenty of fuel too. Oh man, this is beautiful. Look at it go. 128 meters per second. Alright, we're bumping up on the limit now. So I guess the drag limit on something like this... How many kilonewtons of thrust is that? That's 3 per, that's 369. 9 times 207, 208. So we're looking at about 1,872 kilonewtons of thrust. And it's just barely able to maintain 154. That was totally worth it. All the fuel we just wasted, totally worth it, 100%. Look at this thing. It's fully controllable too. Oh wow, that's the surpriser right there. Look at that. You can still full control deflection on that thing. Look at that. Okay. Okay, it's kind of... Let's bring it up to the stall speed. We'll see how that stall characteristic goes. I'm imagining it's going to stall like a rock once again. This is like a stone skipping across the water, except that it's skipping across the air. Like, it's not technically that aerodynamic, just that it's... Okay, and there it goes. We're going to see if a single part explodes. Oh my gosh. This looks alien. This is like the definition of an alien. Like, someone sees this thing flying around. It's Roswell, baby. This is straight out the movies. Actually, no, this is not straight out of the movies. The movies couldn't be this creative. We stalled again. This thing's never going to hit the ground. It's just going to flip around, and it's got lift again. Alright, let's nose it. Nose it into the water. Wait for it. Oh, this plane is beautiful. If only it could break the atmosphere. If I could get this thing into orbit, then it'd be like Kerbal Space Program winner. Just no other title necessary. If you could get this thing into orbit, I tell you. Alright, we're at 34. We're about to stall. Come on, keep that nose down for me. Keep that nose down. 25 meters per second. Let's go. Not a single part lost. Oh, that is a beautiful landing procedure, except that we stalled. We stuck it. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, whoa. It turned blue. Okay then. Famous last words. Never say I stuck the landing. I don't think more fuel is going to get this thing into orbit. The amount of, I'd have to set it to unlimited fuel. Because we've also got the little issue with the center of gravity to worry about. Although this is significantly more controllable. Since we added these additional control surfaces, this has been significantly easier to control. So maybe. Although the problem is rocket fuel is pretty darn expensive. Where are we going to store all of it? Oh, wow. I am 100% proud of this thing. Hold on, let's throw another couple wings on there just for the heck of it. I can't imagine the poor soul who just happens to tune into this stream right now and looks at this and thinks, what in the heck is this guy doing? I can just imagine people showing up and they're like, oh, you should maybe use fewer wings. Yeah, once we get out of the thick atmosphere, I guess you're right. Really only need it for the, only really need that CG for the lower atmosphere. Once we can get it into a vertical orientation, if we can maintain... But the weight of this thing, though, this thing is 248 tons. I don't think we're going to be able to, hold on, we got this little delta V thing here. This tells us we'll get a max delta V of 582 meters per second in atmosphere. So if I just take these things off the back... Oh man, this is not going to work. Oh, these are attached. Oh man. These are attached to that. I can't take that off. I was going to put on like a beast engine. Hold on. What else could we put on here? The skipper, 500 kilonewtons. Yeah, why not? 3,500 to 4,000. Yeah, these heavier engines here, that's still only 621 meters per second. That's nothing. I think the fact of the matter is we're just producing... So let's get these vector engines here. How much you want to bet these vector engines make a difference? It's nice that we have... That's only 635. It's nice that we have the money for this in Kerbal Space Program. That's only 600... Wait, it went down. Oh, fuel limitations, of course. Alright, so it's going to keep going down. We're just going to have to trust that. We're gonna strap on a few extra fuel tanks onto this sucker. Alright. Alright, it's fuel time. I guess we gotta factor in that this is gonna create a significant amount of profile drag. I don't want these intersecting, though. I'll violate certain physics, but I won't violate the physics of intersection. Okay, maybe I'll violate it a little bit. No, that won't work. Darn. We're so close. Hold on. Right there? That's pretty close, actually. Right like that. There we go. Alright, this thing's starting to look like it's got some balls to it now. 1,400 meters per second. Still not enough. We can't really fill the current fuel tanks because we've got to still keep that CG down there. I guess I could fill these up. Here we go. Alright, what do we got? 1,756 meters per second. That's still nowhere close. We gotta be like... Okay, 2125, that's respectable. This looks even worse than it did before. How is that possible? Okay, we can, do we need to bring that up? We don't need to bring that up. Oh, man. This game is, like, starting to lag a little bit. I'm getting worried. We got 2125. That'll break the atmosphere, but that won't give us orbit. Ooh. That would do it. 2431. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Alright. Methinks this will require a little bit of structural integrity. It certainly doesn't have... Keep the original beauty. Look at this thing. That's way more beautiful. It looks like it's got freaking like weapons on the front of it. It's like giving a shark a laser, like strapping a friggin' laser to the shark's head. Sharks with freaking lasers. Except that in this case it's fuel tanks that look like weapons of mass destruction of some kind. I don't know. Somehow I feel like this strut is not going to hold. Something about it just tells me that it's not going to be structurally sound. Don't know why. That looks good. Alright, 29, that's almost 3,000. What is escape velocity? Escape velocity is 3,000, isn't it? Alright. I think it's 10 times more beautiful with those tanks on the front. Although I guess you're right. If I added the option to jettison them, then I could reduce the weight as we go up, and that would make it more likely to obtain an orbit. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. Look. This is like the profile shot of all profile shots right here. Oh, this thing is just, this is so beautiful. I mean, to do anything else to it would be almost criminal. To build it in the first place probably was. Oh my god. That was loud. Okay. Oh no. Let's revert that flight. Okay, so the landing gear somehow got overstressed. I can't imagine that. That landing gear should be able to hold this no problem. It's only 200 tons. Alright, we'll try this again. This time we're going to be like just up on the throttle, or not throttle. We're going to be up on the pitch the whole time. Let's just get this thing off the ground. Come on, off. Up, 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 up. Come on, you. Alright. Did we just... Oh. For a second there, I thought that we blew up the launch pad again. Alright, now here's the beautiful part. We barely got to maintain any velocity with this thing. How much fuel do we even have? We have 46,000 oxidizer. The liquid fuel looks like it's significantly less full, but the only reason for that is because there's so much liquid fuel storage and we're leaving most of it empty. Alright. Oh, I can't wait to see this thing break out of the atmosphere. That's going to be beautiful. I should have... Oh, wait, we don't have... Do we have... The amount of inertia on this thing is absolutely insane because we have such a large amount of mass away from the center of gravity. We're not going to be able to position the attitude in space. We kind of need the atmosphere, I think. So that'll be interesting to see how that does. This is just too loud. I can't get any closer, like... Oh, but it's so beautiful. It's like looking at the sun. If the sun was like 20 times more massive than it is right now, it's like looking at the sun. Oh yeah, the engine gimbal. The engine gimbal's actually, yeah, that's going to be extremely useful. In fact, if I need to twist it even faster, I can just disable a couple of engines. That's a good point. Oh, this is such a beautiful spacecraft. We finally have a space plane that can make it to Elu. If we were to attach those atomic engines and fill this thing up with liquid fuel, the amount of liquid fuel on this thing would allow it to get to the next solar system. Of course, we would need to use those nuclear engines, and it would be extremely slow, but it would most likely work. Like, look at how much liquid fuel storage we've got. 135,000. I imagine you could probably go places with 135,000 units of liquid fuel. Alright, let's kick it up into high gear. We're getting into the less dense atmosphere. Oh, crap. I thought I had water with me. My throat's getting dry. Oh, well. This is a thing of beauty. We're witnessing history in the making, and we didn't even have to purchase the Kerbal Space Program Making History Pack. This is making history. .600 meters per second. Ladies and gentlemen, we have broken the speech sound. We have broken the sound barrier. That's what I wanted to say. How's this doing? 31,000? That's... Oh, no. Oh, crap. I think we just killed them. Darn it. That was so close. Why did I have to do that? Oh, now I'm sad. Okay. But I think we can do that. Well, now that we know that it mostly works, I think I can just use the time warp in atmosphere and just kind of warp through most of that. I think I forgot the time warp. I wasn't thinking to speed it up. Of course, with something this size, they always give you that warning. Vessels with a large number of parts may not work well when you're using time warp. I wonder if this counts. Alright, bring her up to 45. Very loud. It's very loud, so we gotta be proud. Alright, there we go. Do you think time warp will work? I'm not sure that time warp is gonna work. Oh. Oh, it's holding. It's holding together. I don't want to go beyond 2 times. This is already chugging it. Alright, 7,000. Let's go, let's go. We want to break atmosphere. Because that would be just awesome. But if we can break atmosphere, then we can probably get orbit. And if we get orbit, that would be the best. That would be like 100% won. Game complete. Nothing else need be done on Kerbal Space Program. Alright, 300 meters per second. We are at 15,000 meters. I guess I can tune that down just a little bit there. I'm reluctant to make large changes to the power setting because last time we saw how that worked out. Okay. .500 meters per second. We are at 25,000 meters. That aerodynamic influence is going to start dropping off rather sharply up here. 700 meters per second at 31,000. $35,000, now 36. 37,000, now 38. 1,000 meters per second, heading into orbit. We are out of fuel. Did we break atmosphere? 71,000, we're so close. Oh no, it's gonna drop back into the atmosphere. No, it's not. Is it? It is. It's not. Hold on, hold me prograde if you don't mind. It is. It's not. It is. Oh, it's just playing with us now. How did we burn all that fuel? Oh, we're literally on the edge. We're at the Von Karman line. It just has to tumble over. 350 meters, that's good enough. Oh, we're gonna get it, we're gonna get it. This ought to be like an achievement. You know, like an achievement pops up, fireworks start going off. It's a beautiful thing. I'm curious to see what happens on re-entry. We're in space. It's just so beautiful. I can't believe it. There's no parachutes. These guys are going to die when they re-enter the atmosphere. But look at that. Oh, it is such a beautiful thing. Okay. I might have mixed something up. I don't know. Isn't the edge of space called the von Karman line? Or is that just one of the many definitions? There's a lot of definitions. Actually, there's really no specific line that denotes this is space and this is not. It's very gradual. But the von Karman line is the one that I hear the most. Or maybe I misheard them. I don't know. Alright, I'm interested to see what happens once this thing punches the... Oh, it's just Karman line. Oh. Well, there I go. I thought that in Germany, von is one of those prefixes you add to a person's name for like lordship or something like that. I might be completely off base. Anyway. Let's, we're at 54,000. This thing is traveling at least 2 times the speed of sound. Like 3 times, 4 times. I'm interested to see how this handles incompressible flow. Oh, great. So I am wrong. Now we all know it. I mean... I could probably learn German. I've learned half of English. I learned some Japanese. I think the most German I know is swearing though, so that probably wouldn't work out well for me. All right, 35,000. This thing is it's just got too much profile drag off of those wings. It's yeah, it's just not going to work. We're not going to get the fancy... No, look, this is its own parachute. Like, this thing is a parachute in itself. We don't need parachutes where we're going. We'll just use the profile of our extremely massive space plane. That'll work. Man. Excessive amounts of lifting surfaces, and suddenly you do not need parachutes. Nandesu? Swearing. I've never actually heard swearing in Japanese. That's... I mean, I've heard people go like, Masaka. But then again... One of the professors that I know is Masaka. Or I might be mispronouncing that. I hope I'm not. In which case he's probably very offended. Anyway, yeah, I was expecting this to hit compressible flow. It didn't. So that's kind of unfortunate. Look at this thing. It's its own parachute. It's never going to hit the ground. This is like opening up your parachutes at 18,000. It's never going to hit the ground now. Yeah. Anyway. Baka. Ah. Watashi wa baka ne. I don't need no tsundere. I can be tsundere to myself. Alright, well... I think that's going to be it. I don't know how much... I don't know what else I can do to this thing. I mean, obviously, it somehow works. I really don't know how that worked, but it did. And that's impressive in itself. So, I'm the 404 guy, 7he404guy. Perhaps someday we'll come back and we'll revisit our good friend Yosemite Sam. And, yeah. But anyway, I'm the 404 guy, 7he404guy. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to tune in next time. Feel free to subscribe, follow, etc. It doesn't matter to me because I don't get paid for this, but have yourself a great day anyway. Feel free to share this on social media. This, I think, is one of the first things that I'll actually say is social media worthy. And yeah, have a great day, everyone. It's so beautiful. I don't want to go to the outro screen. Look at that. I really want to double up all of these wings. There's like 54 per section. Just double them all. That'd be beautiful. Oh, that was the most fun. Bye-bye, everybody. Whoopsie. What have I broken now? Huh. It crashed. It held together just long enough for me to wrap up the stream, and then it just crashed. Huh. At least it's saved. That's a good thing. Oh, is it working again? There we go. Oh, I broke something. Whoopsie.